Hi, I'm Marie and I'm a member of the Andover Baptist Church community. And this week I've got the opportunity to talk to you all about intentions, direction and project plans, and specifically thinking about the things that we do each day and where they help us to end up. And that might be where we plan to be or it may not be. But today I'm going to talk about the importance of training, and I'm going to start with a sporting analogy. Now, it's one you may have heard before. Each of us has the physical potential to run a marathon, which is 26.2 miles. But very few people, I think, would be able to do it the day after they've decided to do it, with any hope of finishing the race. No amount of trying or sweating or desiring to get to the finish will enable us to accomplish something that we're just not prepared for. And some things that we do actually require us to go into training. And I think back to early 2020 when my husband and I decided to do the Couch to 5K running programme. And this was part of a wider ambition for us to get a bit fitter. Now, I'm a person who likes to look ahead, see all the detail, understand what I need to do to get somewhere or get to an end point. And in this case, before I even started the plan, I looked ahead for what was in each week of the 9-week programme. And it was really daunting because I saw in 1 week, week 5 of the programme, you do one day you do a run of 8 minutes, walk for 5 minutes and run for 8. And then the very next time you go out, you've got to run for 20 minutes non-stop. And I remember discussing it with my husband and saying to him, well, it's got to be doable actually, because so many people do this programme. And then I immediately followed that with, but how can anyone do it? How can you go from running 8 minutes to 20 minutes in 1 week? And I think the answer for me and for us was it was possible because we followed the plan as it was set out. And actually, when I look back on that, what I learned was that actually we've got to go into training for anything we want to become proficient in. It's necessary. And also that training doesn't finish once you get to a certain point. So for my husband and I, we didn't stick to our running programme after we'd finished Couch to 5K, and we're in the position of going back and trying to do it all again. Now, as Christians, we believe that training is one of the most important lessons that we can learn about the way that God can work with us to transform our life. And one of the early Christian leaders, Paul, wrote a letter to a co-worker of his called Timothy, and he was asking him to share the content of it with the wider church community in Ephesus. And in one chapter, chapter 4, verse 8, Paul says to Timothy, exercise daily in God. No spiritual flabbiness, please. Workouts in the gym are useful, but a disciplined life in God is far more so, making you fit both today and forever. And that's from the Message version of the Bible. So I think we can see it's our responsibility to try and develop new habits in order to grow and develop spiritually. And that requires us to go into training. And I love something that I read in one New Version study, and I can't remember which one it was, unfortunately, but it was the statement, if you want God to do the super, you've got to do the natural. Pray like it depends on God and work like it depends on you. And I just love that, and it was really impactful for me. And at the moment, I'm in the middle of a 10-day YouVersion study that's been written by the Fellowship of Christian Athletes, and it's called FCA Endurance, Becoming Iron Fit. And no, I'm not doing this because I want to run an Ironman. I just see it as a really useful way to increase my spiritual strength and performance. And this study particularly looks at athletes' training regimes and thinks about how each of us can duplicate that in our spiritual training with God. And a link to that study is in the video description below. So before I finish, I just want to pray. Lord, I thank you that you're the master craftsman working with us on our souls. You're our #1 training partner, coach and cheerleader. Thank you. And I hope you've enjoyed this bit of time with me today and that you'll come back tomorrow as I talk a bit more about focus and perseverance. Thanks.